Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your NFL Week 6 predictions on Friday, October 16th, 2020. No music today, no music. I've been pretty focused all day today. I got a game tonight. It's senior night. It's a big night for me, so I'm very excited and I'm very focused on tonight's game. But NFL Week 6 features a lot of good games. I'm actually looking forward to this week a lot. We got some very good games this week, like I said. We got probably the first game we'll talk about here today, the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. I think that is a pretty good game. We got the battle for the AFC North between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We also got Packers-Bucks, which is the game we're going to be talking about the most today. Brady versus Rodgers 3. Rams-49ers on Sunday Night Football. And then the Monday doubleheader, Kansas City-Buffalo on Fox. And then 8:15 on ESPN, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Oh boy, a lot to say in that as well. But before we start, if you have not followed me on, if you have not checked out some of the latest videos I have done, make sure you go do so. Make sure you check out my Monday Night Raw review from Monday, my AEW Dynamite top 10 matches in their first year, my AEW Dynamite review that I did on Wednesday with Maddie Anderson for the anniversary show. And yesterday's NXT review is also here on the channel as well. So make sure you go check out all 4 of those videos. Let's get it started, man. I don't want to waste any much time. We are going to start off with the 4-1 Chicago Bears versus the 3-2 Carolina Panthers. And I'll tell you what, the Panthers team is impressing me, man. They are impressing me. They're 3-2. They were 0-2 with Christian McCaffrey. This year, Christian McCaffrey got hurt in the second week of the season. He's been out since, and they have won every single game without Christian McCaffrey. Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy B, I like to call him, has been playing some excellent football. As for the Chicago Bears, they are coming off a huge Thursday night upset that I predicted against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. So they are 4-1. We got Nick Foles versus Teddy Bridgewater, 2 quarterbacks that signed in the free agency. I think this will be a good game, but I'm going to give the advantage to the home team here. I'm going to go with Teddy B and the Carolina Panthers to continue the hot momentum. They will go 4-2, and they will win this game on Sunday against the Chicago Bears 27-16. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Bengals, they are coming off a rough one. They were losers in Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's a very good team, but they were losers to the Ravens 27-3, and they scored a field goal in the last 30 seconds of the game. So, pretty much, they got shut out that day to the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow even said that was the worst game ever he has ever been a part of in his career. So, they're looking to get back on track. Colts, they had a very anticipated game against the Cleveland Browns this week, but they did come up short on the road, 32-23. The Colts have had a COVID outbreak. I believe a couple players had a COVID positive test, but I think they're going to play this week. That's what it sounds like. And if they do play this week, which I think they will, I am going with the Colts in a very close game to win this one at home against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, 28-23 over the Bengals. So I think that should be a pretty good game. Offensive game, more likely, but we'll see how it goes. This next game, I'm just going to fly by. I mean, who could possibly give a shit about this game? We got the Detroit Lions, who are 1-3, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 1-4. Both teams are not going anywhere. The Lions aren't going anywhere. Jacksonville's not going anywhere. So I ask, who could possibly give a shit about this football game? But, I mean, Jacksonville's the home team here. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville to get this victory. At home, it's going to be a low-scoring game, and they're going to win 14-10. All I will be watching from that game is James Robinson, because he is one of my starting running backs on fantasy football. So that's about it. That's all I care about in that game. And pretty much, I don't really care about this game either. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. That game might not even be played because the Falcons had a COVID outbreak. I did not hear an update if that game was going to happen this week. But if it does, who cares? Falcons 0-5. Their season's over. They fired Dan Quinn. Vikings, they lost in a very heartbreaking fashion to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football last week. 27-26. Dude, if they kicked that field goal on the 8-yard line, they would have had that game won. They would have won that game in Seattle on Sunday night. But they did not do that. They were dumb. They went for it, and they missed. And it came back to bite them in the ass. So I don't feel bad for them whatsoever. That's just a dumb decision by Mike Zimmer. But these two teams, I definitely don't see the Falcons going anywhere. With their stacked offense, with Ryan and Gurley and Jones and Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones is going to request their trade sooner rather than later, in my opinion. I doubt that he wants to be playing for the Falcons right now. He probably wants to go to a team that, you know what, is going to make the damn playoffs. So he's probably rolling his eyes in the back of his head right now. So that's that. I'm going with the Vikings. I really got nothing much to say about that. I'm going with the Vikings. 28-17 at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Next, we got, I'm not sure who the quarterback's going to be in this game. I think it's going to be Kyle Allen. But we do have Kyle Allen and the Washington football team against the New York Giants now. Football team lost 30-10 to the Rams. As you guys know, the Giants lost to the Dallas Cowboys last week, 37-34. So they're coming off a loss. Washington's 1-4. The Giants are 0-5. You might look at the records and be like, who could possibly give a shit about this game? I do. I actually do. Because if the Dolphins, not the Dolphins, we'll get to them in a little bit. If the Cowboys lose on Monday night and Washington wins, Washington will take over first place in the division. So I'm actually going to be keeping a very close eye on this football game. I might even watch a little bit of it. But I'm going to go with the safe bet. That is going with the home team, the New York Giants. Low-scoring game. I think it should be a low-scoring. And Graham Gano kicks a game-winning field goal for the Giants to win the game. 16-13 over the Washington football team. So there you go. Kevin Garcia. Shout out to him. Bonafide Heat. Shout out to him. Giants will get their first win on the season. Next, we got Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens going to Philly to face the Philadelphia Eagles. The trash Eagles, who lost at Pittsburgh last week and gave up 4 touchdowns to a rookie receiver, Chase Claypool. How awesome was that? I hate the Steelers, but I mean, you feel for the young guy like Chase Claypool. It gives him a whole bigger confidence boost. And then the Ravens, like we talked about earlier, the Bengals, they won 27-3. This one's going to be one-sided. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. This one's going to be one-sided. Lamar's going to run all over this Eagles defense. This will be an easy victory for the Baltimore Ravens on the road. I'm going Ravens here, 38-23 over the Philadelphia Eagles. And next, speaking of the Steelers, we got a big NFC North clash between the 4-1 Cleveland Browns against the 4-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is actually a big game for both teams. I think it's bigger for the Steelers because if they don't win this game at home against the Cleveland Browns, which the Browns are a very good team. They are a very good team. You can look on their record, but they defeated a good team last week in the Colts. So I'll give them that. But if you look on the Steelers' schedule, they had 4 home games in a row because they had to bye. They were supposed to play the Titans week 4. That got shifted to next week. This is their 4th home game in a row. So for them to go 4-0 at home, that would be a pretty big deal for them, I think. Because their next 3 games are hard as hell. They are at Tennessee, they are at Baltimore, and they are at Dallas. It's pretty damn hard in my opinion. That is a pretty hard schedule for them. So this is a big one for them. This is also a big one for the Cleveland Browns. This is a statement game for the Cleveland Browns to be like, hey, we belong at the top of the NFC North. We are here to compete for the division. We want to take down Big Ben and Lamar Jackson. We need a new first place owner in this division. So this is a statement game for the Cleveland Browns. But for most of the games here, I've been picking the home team. I'm going to do the same this one. I am going with the home team. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be very close. 1 touchdown game. And the Steelers get this one 31-24 over the Cleveland Browns. And let's move on to those red hot Tennessee Titans hosting the Houston Texans, who got their first victory last weekend. Shout out to Deshaun Watson for getting his first victory of the season last week against Jacksonville. This one, I think it'll be closer than lots of people expect. Houston, they normally compete in very close games with the Tennessee Titans. I don't really see this one being any different. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm not saying it's going to be a game-winning field goal or a 1-point game or anything. I think it'll be, I'll give it a 10-point game. I think the Titans are going to win by 10. I'm going to give it 34-24 against the Texans. And I'm just hoping for a good offensive game from the Titans because now, with Dak down with an injury for the rest of the season, he was my starting quarterback in fantasy. We all know he had that very emotional, sad injury last week. So he's out for the season. And my backup's Ryan Tannehill, who I think is a pretty damn good backup. And he's having an MVP caliber season. So he will be sliding into that starting quarterback role for me. And hopefully he does good. And I got Derrick Henry as well, so let's get it. And then to end off the 1 o'clock slate, we have the Denver Broncos against the New England Patriots. This game was actually supposed to happen last week, but it didn't because the Patriots had a COVID outbreak, so they had to cancel the game, and players were frustrated on social media. Even Melvin Gordon tweeted out, like, on Sunday. He's like, so we practiced all week for this game, and then we learned the day before the game that our game is canceled and we have a bye week. So the Broncos really do not have a bye week for the rest of the season. Neither do the Patriots. That's very, very sad. But, man, the Tennessee Titans, we did not know what they were going to do. They came out. They had a bounce-back game. They haven't been on the field in 16 days, and they came out and they scored 42 points against one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion, the Buffalo Bills. I think that the Broncos are not as close to being better as the Bills are. But I think the Patriots shock a lot of people, and they get this victory over the Denver Broncos 41-27. So I think the Patriots are putting up over 40 this week against that Denver D. So now we got to the 4 o'clock slate and then the Sunday Night Football game. And we will wrap it all up with Monday Night Football. 4:05, New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. Man, did the Dolphins look good last week, man. Did the Dolphins look good last week. 47 points. 43, I'm sorry. 43 points to 17 over the team that was the NFC champions last year in the San Francisco 49ers. Now, clearly, they're not the same team as they were last year. But, holy shit. Miami went into their place, NFC champions, and they kicked the crap out of them. I said it last week on the channel. If the Eagles can go into Santa Clara and defeat the 49ers, I think the Dolphins can. The Dolphins did more than just beat the 49ers. They slaughtered the 49ers. And this week, they are playing the Jets at home. Dolphins have a lot of momentum, and they're going to keep that momentum with a final score of 20-7 over the New York Jets, whether the quarterback is Flacco or Sam Darnold. But I do have a prediction after the game that when the Jets lose to the Dolphins this week, Adam Gase is going to become, sorry about that. When the Jets lose to the Dolphins this week, Adam Gase is going to become the third head coach in 3 weeks to get fired. I'm calling it right now. And then the biggest game of this week, in my opinion, is the Green Bay Packers going to Tampa Bay to face Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Battle of 12. It's the Battle of 12. Rodgers, Brady, 3. They are tied at 1 apiece. This is a big game for the Tampa Bay Bucks more than it is the Packers, because the Bucks are coming off an upset loss to the Chicago Bears on Thursday Night Football, and the Packers needed the Bucks to beat the Bears so that they wouldn't get closer to the Packers. Now the Packers are going to take their frustration out on the Bucks. That's their mindset. I don't actually think they're going to take their revenge. I don't actually think they're going to take their revenge out on the Bucks. Games in Tampa. Tom Brady will be hyped for this one. Aaron Rodgers will too. And I actually think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. I'm not sure. This is one of those games where you have all these people claiming, "Oh, this is going to be great. Both offenses are going to be explosive. Each have 20 points by halftime." I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be very low-scoring, a very defensive game. And I think that defense is going to get it done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one. 17-15 over the Green Bay Packers. So that's my prediction for that. I got the Bucs over the Packers. Brady over Rodgers. Then we get Sunday Night Football. Rams, 49ers. This is a big one for the 49ers. If the 49ers do not win this game, you might as well say their season's over. Because their schedule... Just dropped something. Their schedule does not get easier from here. It actually gets harder. Because then they're going to play teams like the Patriots. They got to play the Seahawks after that. They have a possibility of going 2-6. 2-6. That's not good for a team that was in the Super Bowl last year. That's a huge downgrade. And the Rams are playing great football right now. The Rams are playing great football, and I don't see them losing this game. I think the Rams take this one in Santa Clara. This is going to be a high-scoring football game. I think the Rams take it 33-28 over the 49ers. Then we get into the Monday slate. We got Kansas City, Buffalo first. This was originally supposed to be the Thursday night game, but it's not because of the Titans situation. The Bills had to play on Tuesday, so it wouldn't be fair for them to play on Thursday, so they pushed it back to Monday. Eventually, if the Bills beat the Titans, I was considering taking the Bills over the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. If they beat the Titans. But they got absolutely obliterated by the Titans on Tuesday night. And now, there is no chance I'm taking the Bills over the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Chiefs lost to the Las Vegas Raiders last week, but those type of games happen. Those games happen all the time. The Chiefs lose nothing from this. They're going to be absolutely fine, and they're going to take this one. It'll be a close game, one-possession game, but I'm going with the Chiefs, 27-21, and no, it will not be in overtime. And then finally, to wrap it all up, Monday Night Football with the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. Even though that game was a good win for the Cowboys, their defense still played trash. Gave up 34 points to one of the worst offenses in the league. And yes, I do think the Cowboys will be fine with Andy Dalton, because in Cincinnati, Andy Dalton only had A.J. Green as a weapon, and he didn't have any other weapons. Now in Dallas, he's got Zeke, he's got Cooper, Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Dalton Schultz. He's got a lot of guys to throw the ball to, and Zeke can get 25 carries a game. Now, with Dak out, you need to give Zeke the ball. That guy needs 25 carries or more a game. Andy Dalton does not need to throw the ball more than 30 times. I'm telling you right now. 30 times is a max for Andy Dalton. But this defense is still atrocious. They're still atrocious. And if they're going to give up 34 points to the Giants, what do you think Kyler Murray and Kenyon Drake and Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald, what do you think they're going to do to the Cowboys defense? They're going to obliterate them. And I do think this will be a shootout, but I'm going with the Cardinals. 38-36 on Monday Night Football. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the NFL Week 6 predictions here on the channel today. I want to thank each and every single one of you who have watched this video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my content next week. Big week coming up next week here on the channel. We'll get to that more in tomorrow's video, the SmackDown review. Comment down below. I want to know your predictions for the NFL Week 6 games this week. Who do you think is going to win the games? I want to know. Hit that like button if you like what I had to say in this video. And then follow me on Twitter at comment_Joseph. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for the SmackDown review here on the channel. I got a game to prep for tonight, so I'm going to get going, upload this, and then it's game night, baby. I'm so excited. It's senior night. It's pouring out, but I don't really give a shit. Have a good day and stay safe.